Hey people, this is Conrad Layn here. I have some good news for you guys. I'm going to share quite a bit of information on how to handle an independent claim and how to resolve it. And I'm going to give you so many different options and strategy, deep psychology, and I'm going to give you my text template absolutely for free. You're going to be able to download it below. I'm going to leave a link below where you can download it, you can print it, you can copy it to your phone, you can keep it, print it on hand, copy and paste it. I do recommend you make it your own and put your own personality into it because it's basically based off my personality. But hey, if you don't want to take time to create your own, you can use it absolutely free to you. I want to help you guys out, so absolutely free. Handle it, download it, it's there for free. I'm also leave another link that goes in deep detail what an independent claim is, but this is going to show you deep psychology on how to text and how to communicate with your guests and how to actually stay and remain in control and how to actually be transparent, how to keep it as professional as possible. So follow me through, make sure you take a lot of notes. I'm going to show you on how to actually go through the process of filing for independent claim, how to communicate with your guests, because a lot of times if you irritate them, agitate them, make them angry, if you don't communicate with them well, unfortunately you could excite them and turn this to a bad situation. It could be a good situation. No matter how bad it is, you could always make it better. So don't excite them, don't make them uneasy. It's already a stressful situation. Your goal is to come in with full confidence, full experience, and full control and calm them down. You're basically that firefighter who's saved millions of people already, and you're going in, you're with the oxygen mask saying, hey, it'll be okay, we'll get you out of this fire, breathe, here's some oxygen. But if you're that firefighter who comes in and panicking, you get all crazy and get all irritated and scared as well and anxious, at least don't show it. But if you get all like that, you make them anxious as well. So I'm gonna teach you how to keep it in control, even through the psychology of using text messaging. And most importantly, I'm gonna show you how to actually make sure you send a message through Turo messaging primarily. That's the first best way to do it. Then secondary, you text them as well, send them screenshots, and you document everything. So you copy and paste whatever you send through Turo messaging, send it to the text as a secondary proof of documentation. But most importantly, you want to send them all messaging and correspondence through Turo messaging. So follow me through. I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. Everyone, thank you for following me through. This is Conrad Layn here. This is my actual Conrad Layn Turo independent claim template. I'm gonna leave the link below where you can actually download it and you can view it as a PDF. So that means you can save it to your phone, save it to your computer, your laptop, etc. You can print it as a PDF. You could copy and paste it, do whatever you want with it. I do recommend making it your own and maybe giving it and making it your own and putting your own touch on it, your own vernacular, your own words. But hey, if you don't have time, if you don't feel like doing it, just use mine. Absolutely free. Download below and the links and the details of the video, and you can download my free Conrad Layn Turo independent claim template. Not a problem at all. So I'll get that all ready for you guys. It'll be down below, but let me dive right into it. So as you see, I'm sharing my screen with you. There's just a few different prompts and text messages I send the guests if there's some type of claim on the vehicle. Unfortunately, it's already a stressful enough situation. So what I typically like to do is I try to make it as try to reduce as much stress as possible and try to like equalize the situation immediately. So essentially what I do is, as you notice, hello, guest name. You put there whatever the guest name is there. I'm taking some time out of my day to check on you after the accident or damage to make sure you're okay. So this covers if it was an accident or if it's just damage. Just maybe it wasn't an accident, maybe there was damage but no accident, you know. So that's what you want to do essentially, and see for guest name. So that's how I start off. What this does essentially is psychologically, people are more open, typically from what my experience, when you're nice to them. And I generally do believe that, and that's how I am naturally. It's not, this isn't a con. I really believe you treat people nicely, it reduces the stress in the situation, and it makes it a less anxiety-inducing experience for the guest and for yourself as well. So when you do that, essentially, that calms them down, because instead of saying, hey, get all crazy and hey, what you damaged, instead you say, hey, how are you? Are you okay? You put their health, you put their sanity, and you put their value above the car. That might be hard for you to do, maybe not, but that's something is key to a key element you should learn, is how to actually put people before you, and people feel that. Then they're more open and more inclined to say, hey, really sorry, dude, it really sucked, sorry, and we start from there. Next, I understand and I am checking on you, guest name, because your life is more important than the car, and first thing first is to make sure that we get you back right, my friend. See, that actually is much more important in regards to that. So you can actually do your best to actually establish that relationship. Make sure you send that psychologically. So you always put here, kind of what I mentioned before, I understand, I am checking on you, guest name, because your life is more important than the car And first is to make sure that we get you back right, my friend. That starts off in a positive attitude, starts off in a situation where people are more inclined to talk to you, even if they don't want to. They're more nicer. They start maybe developing more of a moral compass because you're so nice to them. They don't want to be mean to you, even if they are stressed out. And even if they are mean, it's just better to reduce the stress. So that's something I highly recommend. Next, I go, and this is a rule of thumb, try to keep your text characters to 160 characters. Typically, what I've noticed through Android, Apple, whatever your phone provider is, typically 160 characters of text messaging. Typically, anything after that usually turns into 2 messages. What I like to do, I try to do everything in one shot, smooth, where you see the message, you don't have to read 2 or 3 messages just to get the idea. I try to keep it as concise as possible in the best manner possible. So if you notice, see where it says I will do, and I'll click into this message. I will do my 100% best to turn this unfortunate experience into a much better experience for you, smiley face. And you always want to use emojis, because you have to understand, when you're texting someone, it's very monotone. You know, you're reading words from a page. You don't see their eyes, you don't see their smiles, you don't see their voice tone, you don't see that, you don't see their actions, how they're moving. So a good way to convey this is to start using emojis. Become best friends with emojis. Put smiley face, put thumbs up, put stars there. Try to turn into a more positive experience, so it kind of reduces the anxiety level and it kind of de-stresses you and the guest. Try to use emojis. So you'll notice here I put smiley face. The way that I'm going to do this is resolving this damage claim independently with you. In many situations, the fastest, most cost-effective way to resolve a damage issue is for guests and hosts to come together without Turo's involvement. This allows guests to avoid paying administrative fees and costs. This is my personal opinion. What I believe, I do believe if you file independently, it typically is a better resolution for you and the guest, because imagine, you don't have to pay any deductible. The only time most people don't pay a deductible is if you have the Turo 60, and then you're paying 40% from your bottom line and keep 60% of the profit. But if you pick, say, a Turo 90, you keep 90% of the profit and pay only 10%. So say if you pick a Turo 90 or any other plan, for the most part, you can actually offset this deductible by simply in handling the claim independently, where you pay no deductible. Now the guest pays for the damage they caused, the damage, which is more than fair, and you're good to go. There's no deductible on your side. They don't pay a deductible, they just pay for the damage. There's no managing or a fees that you have to pay Turo for managing the Turo claims. So I believe it's in my personal opinion, and it seems to be a really great opportunity to not only save money but also to do a good deed, and at the same time it's much more cost effective. So you'll notice this message. I had to see how to click in just to see this message. I'll do it again. See, I have to click in. You shouldn't do that. You should make it where it's one message. Now, if I go just below where it shows I will do my 100% best, that's the same exact message, but I shorted it up. But watch how I deliver the same message in an impactful manner with less characters. Same message though. Look, I will do my 100% best to turn this unfortunate experience into a much better experience for you. The way that I'm going to do this is resolving this damage claim independently with you. Done. And then the one under it, in many situations, the fastest, most cost-effective way to resolve a damage issue is for guests and hosts to come together without Turo's involvement. This allows guests to avoid paying administrative fees and costs. See how I shortened that up? And not only that, I took words out and I split the message. So that way now they have 2 separate messages instead of one mega message that's broken up into 2 or 3 messages. It becomes a disaster. You want to keep this, like I said, less stress, less words. It's usually much more calm and much more smoother. So you want to do that. So try to keep it at 160 characters is a huge tip. Just in general in business, try to keep it concise into one message if possible. 2 max, but try 1. We have busy days and people don't have time to read all that, especially if they're going through a claim. They're already stressed out. And like I said, this whole video gives you my actual template you can download yourself, but also the psychology behind it. I'm teaching you how to fish, not just giving you fish. I'm doing both. I'm giving you the fish, I'm giving you the template, I'm giving you the fish, but I'm teaching you how to fish as well. So if for those that might say, hey, just get to it, this is a deep dive. I have Conrad Layn quick tips. That's for people that just don't want to spend time understanding deep psychology and analyzation. And there's these videos. If you want deep content and I'm giving this to you free, take notes, go back through this. People are selling stuff like this, and a lot of people don't even have this information. Believe it or not, I'm one of the few, if not the only, who gives you absolute templates, absolute how to do, where anyone $0 out of your pocket start making money right away with deep psychology. Check my profile. I am a 5-star all-star host. I'm a power host as well, both ranks. However, I am legitimate. You can check my profile anytime. Don't let this go to waste, people. It's absolutely free for you. A lot of people are trying to sell information like this, or or they're actually telling you information that's not even at this magnitude. But back to this. So take it seriously. So yeah, and what you want to do in the text message, if you notice, here's article that you can read to get better idea of resolving claims. I send this message to them, and also I want to make this very clear. Any text message you send them, the primary point of communication is always Turo messaging. But what you must do is, as a second point of proof and documentation, send them text messages as well. But first, primarily is always every message you see here. I'll start see all the way back to the top where it shows Friday, July 30th, 2021, and hello guest name. All these messages from the top to the bottom that I'm going to go through, this should be primarily in your Turo messaging at all times, people. That documents it so Turo can easily access it, and there's no question of it being valid, because it's directly documented, so the guest can't say they didn't read it, because it's in their accounts, in their messaging. You send it directly to them. If you only use your phone, a guest can deny and say, hey, my phone was dead, I never got it, I don't know what he's talking about, he made the text message up. Like, you just want to avoid that. So what you do is you document it in Turo messaging, but as a second form of documentation, you text it as well, and use the text messaging as well. So you can just send basically you can just copy and pasting all the messages that are here from Turo messaging to your text messaging between you and them. So let me get back down here. So as I mentioned, so what you want to do in Turo messaging and through text messaging, you want to send them the article. Here's the article that you can read to get a better idea of the resolving claims. So this actually goes in deep detail on what the claims actually is, and that actually, so now they can't say they don't understand. And what you're doing is you're explaining the process to them. You have to understand, this is different. You're the host, you're the specialist here, they're the guest, and unless they've been through 1,000 claims or even a few claims, they might not know what an independent claim is, and it might be fairly new to them. And even if they are experienced, even if they understand the concept of it, it's just better to show them proof that, hey, this is a Turo article from Turo, here's the website. Go here, read a bit about being independently, going through independent claim process and resolving independently, and that way they feel more comfortable and more inclined. So this is psychology. You're making them more comfortable with you. You're checking up on them. You're making sure they're okay. You're nice to them. You're treating them with respect, even if they're at fault in the accident or not. Whatever the case is, like, you're being nice to them, so they're more inclined to work with you. This is a way on how to actually get into helping people and understanding how to do it the right way. So you always see that link, that hyperlink up there where it says supportturo.com and the articles. That's a direct Turo article that goes into resolving claims independently, people. And what I like to do, just in case if they don't like to read, or they have bad internet service, or the page isn't loading, you always screenshot the article that you send them. Another piece of psychology, and you'll see here I did that. And you send it to them so they can see screenshots of whatever the article actually is. And then I send them a message stating, I have just uploaded pictures of the resolving claims independently to the Turo trip photos for your review, and I have the pictures to your cellular phone for your review, because I want you to be comfortable and at peace. So remember, you're putting them at peace, you're explaining the process to them, they understand the process better now, and they're becoming more acclimated with understanding how this all works out. Very important, people. And not just that, understand this as well. See where I said that I added to Turo trip photos. Very important to do that. As I mentioned, the first form of communication always before text messaging is Turo messaging. That way Turo has documentation right there, and then there's no question of it being a valid message. So you do that, and so it's the same way how you send these screenshots. See how it says resolving claims independently? So you actually go there, you upload it to the trip Turo photos. So if it's uploaded to Turo trip photos, it's documented again. So now they can't deny that, hey, I never read the article. Yes, you did. I uploaded. You're basically covering yourself, but you're also adding the same service. Two birds, one stone. You're also satisfying them and giving them peace of mind, but you're also documenting yourself as a Turo professional. That's the best way to do it. So look at this. I'm gonna click into the article. Resolving claims independently. See how it goes into that article? I'll click out. Another one. See, I basically screenshot the whole article, people. So that's what we do, screenshot the whole article, text it to them, add it to the trip photos, so that way they can't deny they ever read it. It's completely transparent. You're being honest with them, and look, it goes full detail. So even if they have an internet problems, if they can't access the website for some reason, whatever the case is, if they don't like to read, you send them the screenshots. Every last one's here. The whole page from top to bottom of the Turo article is actually there that I just sent them. And I put here, I have also sent you the following message through Turo messaging and to your cellular phone. Plus I attached a screenshot of the message I sent you through Turo messaging. I just want to be 100% transparent and honest to help give you peace of mind. Remember, you're giving them peace of mind, but you're also documenting them, you're documenting yourself, and you're keeping everything ethical as well. It's about being ethical, people. So you let them know you sent them everything. You upload to trip photos in Turo. You also sent it to them in message, and you're constantly documenting through Turo messaging and through text messaging, stating, hey, I did this, I uploaded the photos on Turo, and I text them to you. You're basically reiterating what you've just documented as another way of documenting what you just documented. It's great psychology, great strategy in business. This is good business acumen is what you'll call it. So besides that, upon return, I found some damage to the vehicle. I understand these things happen, so I'd like to work with you directly to settle up the cost of damage. It should be cheaper and faster than going through the official claims process with Turo. This is the message you send them when you find damage, and you can send any message you want, but this is basically the general message that you send. And what you do, see how it says that, and don't worry, the most I can ask you to reimburse is the out-of-pocket maximum associated with the protection plan you purchase. If the damage estimate is less than that, I'll only ask you for enough to reimburse the cost of the damage. That's the message you send them through Turo, and then you copy and paste it through messaging as a second form of documentation, as I mentioned, and then you do a third part. There's a Conrad Layn way you do it. You copy and paste, you screenshot the message you send them in Turo, and you upload that to trip photos, and you send it to them through text messaging. So it's further documentation. This is business acumen 101, people. Documentation at its finest. So this is what I always do if I'm in a situation like this. I don't like claims. I don't enjoy it. I have over 8 years experience as being insurance licensed. I'm a business consultant. I specialize in insurance mitigation, which is risk reduction for businesses. That's what I typically do. So I'm just teaching one-on-one and the 101. I'm teaching one-on-one, you and I, and the 101 of how to do this properly. Always do your own due diligence, but this is how you do it, people. You document as much as possible. You screenshot the message you're gonna send them, the same message I just copy and pasted into text messaging. Upon return, I found some damage, the same exact message. You screenshot that before you send it, upload to Turo Trip Photos, so it's documented again, and then you actually text it to them. Then after that, you send them this message. After that, we are given 20 days from the end of the trip to resolve this independent claim between you and I. Smiley face, again, you use the emojis. Even for cell phone, when I put cellular phone, I put an emoji there. Look, I have sent you a screenshot to your cellular phone. I even put just emojis. Emojis make people happy. It's just, I've noticed that they're like cartoons typically, so it de-stresses. There's psychology behind this, people. So use this. I mean, even if it's not a smile, even if it's just to describe a cell phone, use the emoji cell phone like I did right there. It just stuff like it just de-stresses people and puts people more on your side, and it's just a way to de-stress the situation, people. So I put another smiley face. I have sent you the screenshot to seller's phone that confirms the time frame to resolve this independent claim and that the resolution process has started. So the reason why you have to state this is because you only have 20 days to actually file a claim with independently. You have to file it within the 20 days after the return of the vehicle, pretty much. You have to actually report within 20 days. If you don't do it, you could lose out on actually going through the process. You want to make sure to do it within that 20 days. If it hits that 20th day, I would recommend even just keep it at a 19 days so you don't make a mistake. And then you just allow Turo to manage it, because you have to do it within 20 days for Turo to manage it. So if you decide to say, hey, it didn't work out, I'm not going to actually file that the guest didn't want to file a claim with you, then what you must do is you must simply file a claim with Turo, because the guest maybe didn't want to go through it. Maybe they didn't respond to you after 72 hours. Maybe they went AWOL. Maybe they didn't show up anymore. Maybe they stopped communicating. Maybe they say, hey, I'm not going to pay this. Then at that point, you have the option to use your Turo insurance then, but you at least did your part to try to do it independently and resolve it independently. And if you can resolve it independently, great. But if, like I said, for some reason you can't do it and you don't hear from them, you have 20. You can file a Turo claim within 20 days after filing your independent claim, after the car is returned, of course. And all this you want to do as soon as possible. If you don't want to miss your opportunity of managing a claim to Turo, if that's the only way you can get your car damage resolved. So that's why you put the message here. Again, you send this through Turo messaging as well, so that they know and they can never say they don't know. So you want to document yourself, document them, keep everything transparent, so that way they can't deny and say, hey, I didn't know. Yes, you did. Decided to send it to you. And then look, guess what? Another surprise, people. See where it says this? Thank you. you have successfully started the resolution process. You have 20 days from the end of the trip to settle up. If you're unable to come to an agreement, you can escalate the issue and file a claim with Turo by emailing claims@turo.com. Booyah, people. There you go. See, it states it right there too. So what you do with this, you upload this to Turo Trip Photos. You text them their picture as well, and that pretty much will help with getting this all taken care of right away. So that's what you have to do. You send them that right away, people. Get this sent to them, and then you can actually get this, then it's documented and perfectly. So let me get out of here and show you some more. If you or I can't come to a resolution within 20 days after the end of the Turo trip, then I can file a claim to get this resolved. My goal is to resolve independently with you so that, if possible, I want to do my best to save you money in comparison to your deductible if possible. Is that you send this through Turo messaging and through text messaging. I will personally do my best to locate businesses that can repair the vehicle for a cost-effective amount for you. Also, if you like and if you know a business or can locate, find business that can repair for cost-effective amount to save you money. I'm happy with that as well, my friends. So basically what I typically like to do, this is up to you. What I like to do is I typically like to allow a guest to simply, I show them, hey, I'm going to do my best to save you money so we can save you money on your deductible so you don't have to pay deductible and pay less than your deductible, and we can get this in a more cost-effective manner. And here's the body shops or whoever is going to repair it. Now, if they feel comfortable with that, we just move forward. If they want to say, hey, I think I can find a better place, or I know a guy, and that you agree with too as the host, but I like to give them an opportunity to find even a better deal if they can, because I'm here to help them out too, but I just want to get this resolved as soon as possible. So I give them the opportunity. That's just my strategy, and I do recommend that, but do your own due diligence, do what makes you feel comfortable. But I usually like to give them an option to find something too, or find a company. They can start calling around. Even if they live out of state or in your same state or your same city, doesn't matter. They can always go on Google, try to find deals, and they can try to help you out, or they might know someone personally. So if they can do that, great. The whole goal is to handle this independently. As long as the car gets repaired, I'm happy. Find me a better deal. Cool. And that'll help you and it'll help me. Great. So we're both not paying deductibles and you're paying less amount. But if they can't do that, then you do your best to find a deal, or try to find another place where you can get it repaired for a cheaper price. So it makes sense for them to actually not go through their Turo insurance. So you don't have to go through your Turo insurance, and so you guys resolve it independently in a more sound manner that saves them money as well as, and that's cost effective. So that's about it. And also it is not beneficial typically for you to pay me a payment plan or multiple payments, because to truly resolve this claim, we need the payment for the damage to be paid in full, which is why I'm motivated for us to both find the most cost-effective price to repair a vehicle. The reason you must send that, and why I send that all the time, is because some hosts have tried to, and which I understand, they'll accept payments. They might not even know, they might just be naive. If you accept a payment from a guest, say for example, say they owe you $1,000, right? And they pay you, let's say $100, whatever the amount they can pay you $1, $100, $500, $900, whatever amount they pay, $500. Let's say they pay you $100, right? And if they just disappear at that point and they run away, your goal, you have to actually give them back that money. But if you can't give them back that cash you took, or return the money back to them and have proof that you returned it back to them, Turo won't manage your claim. So I'd never like to take a payment or whatever, even if they offer, no, we're gonna pay this in full. I'll get you a better deal, but we're gonna pay this in full so that I'm not left with the bag. You don't want to be left in a situation where you took 1 or 2 payments, 3 payments, and it's not the full amount, and you're left holding the bag and they disappear. Not saying they will do that. You just want to guard yourself. So I don't recommend taking payments, but it's up to you guys. You guys run your business the way you want to, but just from my experience, I would rather take it in full and try to get them a better deal. So that's why I send this through Turo messaging, and all these messages, again, reiterating this again, I send all these messages in text messages to Turo messaging first, then I text it to them, and then I screenshot whatever I need to screenshot, add it to the trip photos, and send them a screenshot through via text as well. I want you to feel 100% comfortable, smiley face. Even for 100, I use the emoji 100 because it evokes a certain emotion, like absolute, perfect, just it's emotional, person comfortable, another smiley face. And if you would like to double check my repair estimates, and if you would like to speak with the repair shop I'm happy to give you my repair shop phone number. The reason I like to do this is because sometimes they don't know you, I don't know them. It's just one of those things where sometimes people just need, sometimes it's hard for them to trust you. Maybe they might trust you right away, but sometimes they're spending money out of pocket. You just want to sometimes give them peace of mind, give them the body shop's number so they can verify. and so they feel comfortable. That's what I highly recommend. That's what I usually do, is try to like give them the body shop number. If they want to call, great. If they don't want to call, great, but at least they have the number. Then I send through Turo messaging just documents that I give them the number. If they use it or not, that's on them, but I gave you the number, the vet check, so there's no excuses. Just pay for it. So that's how it is. And I put, if you think you can find another repair shop that offers a more cost-effective price than the one I have chosen, that is fine with me. Smiley face again, see, smiley face. You can also share any estimates you have located for repairs. And same thing, I give them the option to upload the photos that they found for estimates, and just text to me and to let me know what they found. And I'm more inclined to work with them because I want to save them money, I want to save myself money, and I want to make this an easy process. So I try to communicate. The more you communicate with them, especially when you document on Turo, the more transparent it seems, the more trust that's built, and it's a better situation than yelling at them, getting mad, stressed out, or going crazy. Keep it in control. You're the specialist, you're the business owner here. Run your business and be calm, breathe. Even if you're not a calm person, calm, take a few breaths, talk to them, send a message. And this is good for someone who maybe is a bit more, maybe more on the hothead side. If you're not calm or whatever, text first, send a message through Turo, don't talk to them. And this is why this strategy works, because it delays you. It delays your anger. If you're an angry person, and as we're none of us are perfect, you know, and you might be having a bad day. This gives you a time delay where instead of blowing up on someone right away, you're putting you're composing a message, or you're copying and pasting my messages for a template below that I'm leaving free for you guys, and you're using that to communicate with them and using emojis. Or even if you're mad, you're calming the situation down. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need that message. Even if you're having a bad day, angry day, or whatever going on, or you're mad about the situation, the text message will not show or reveal that you're actually angry, and it'll give you a text message delay where it gives you time to cool off. So before you talk to them, if you do talk to them on the phone or not, you at least are in a more distant position where you're not emotionally in a position where you're going to hurt them or be angry or come off the wrong way. It's good to message first. It gives you time to think and cool off. And that's why it's so valuable to have this template. And I'm giving this to you for free in the link below, people. Download it. It's all free for anyone that wants it, that needs it. I'm here to help people. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my best to bring as much content and deep perspective, because I want you guys to succeed too. And I do wish you all the best. I really do mean that. So back down here. Let's get back to the messages, people. So, okay. So I think a repair shop can offer a more cost-effective price than the one I've chosen. That's fine with me. We both should keep in regular contact with each other to keep each other well informed throughout the process. The best way to do this is through via Turo messaging, which ensures there's a record of both of our correspondence. What I just mentioned to you guys throughout this whole text messaging template video is always document through Turo. Always document through Turo. Please always document through Turo. One of the best things you can do, even more than texting them. If you had to pick one or the other, always choose Turo messaging. Do not choose your text messaging. You have to prove too much, and you might not be able to prove it. But if you send it to Turo messaging, they can't deny it. I will also send you text messages to your cellular phone of or Turo correspondence as a second backup form of communication for you and I. You always want to do that as well. As I mentioned, you want to upload to Turo photos and also send them a text message of any correspondence. Thank you, guest name, for agreeing to the repair amount. It's recommended to use electronic payment methods such as Zelle, PayPal, Venmo, or Square. Basically, it is recommended. You can take cash, but the hard part about cash is that you have to prove that you actually, not only that it's signed, and that's cash, you can't really prove. There's no electronic trail, paper trail. There's no paper trail really. So you have to get a receipt, a signed receipt stating, and I would recommend putting your driver license in, having them put their driver license there and taking a picture of them with, or have them send a picture of them signing the contract of saying they're going to pay X, Y, Z amount to you through cash, and hold their license and take a picture of them, or have them take a picture of it just for proof. I highly recommend that because it's hard to prove cash, but you can do it. But I just don't recommend it. But it's up to you. Run your business the way you want to. It's typically preferred to use an electronic form of payment like Zelle, PayPal, Venmo, or Square, or some type of electronic payment system that shows a transaction at least. That's usually recommended. So we don't suggest using cash unless both parties can sign and provide copies of a receipt with driver license and holding the receipt. See how I put the emoji, the arm, and the receipt there in the emoji? Because it just conveys more positivity. You'd be surprised what emojis can do. So I put that there, make it very clear, make it very concise. And I put, thank you, my friend, for your cooperation. I appreciate that you have good character. You are a wonderful guest, and please understand that this is not personal. I still think you are a great person, but sometimes life just happens. I do that as a reassuring kind of closure where they might be feeling guilty, they might be angry, they might not care, whatever the case is. I try coming in from a more positive approach where I'm like, it's okay, you'll be fine, don't worry, I got you. And things happen, life happens. This by no means makes you a bad person. This is just a situation. Sometimes people feel guilty, and even if they don't, you just want to reassure them, and it just brings more positivity. Unfortunately, since we could, and then that's the first option. If they accept it, like say they want to pay, that's the first option. And then I give some other options, like, so if they don't want to, so if you don't hear from them or they go AWOL, you put, unfortunately, since we could not resolve this independent claim and or we haven't heard any response from you within 72 hours, we'll be presenting a claim to either your insurance company or a third party insurance company, because sometimes they have insurance, their own personal insurance they might use through a Turo system or platform. So you can actually go through your own personal insurance. If that's the case, you notify them that you're going to do so. If not, if you're going to use their Turo insurance, that's fine as well. But sometimes, say if it's 72 hours, which is approximately 3 days, and you don't hear from them, it's a bit concerning. At that point, you probably want to contact Turo and allow them to manage your claim, or go through their personal insurance if you have access to their personal insurance information. And you're notifying them. Again, you send this through Turo messaging and through text messaging. Then I put this in parentheses, this option if using guest personal insurance. So you only use this option if they have personal insurance and you're using their insurance, for example. We'll be confirming with your insurance carrier that we will be filing claim against your insurance. Once claim has been filed, we'll work with the adjuster to resolve the claim. You send this message to them through Turo messaging and through text messaging just to notify them. If your insurance carrier needs information from Turo, we will notify Turo to provide support. You send that through Turo messaging. So you all do all this, you always cover yourself up. If you have to, for whatever reason, go through their personal insurance, that you're allowed to use your own personal insurance and not Turo insurance if you would like to, you can actually contact their insurance, and this is the way you do. You document that you're going to contact their personal insurance provider, so they're aware, they can't deny it. I put a second option. This option is if the host and our guest decide to file Turo claim within 20 days. And then you put here, unfortunately, since we could not resolve independently, Turo claim will be filed and Turo will be managing our Turo claim. I just want to say I think you're a great person. I still appreciate you and thank you for your experience, my friend, smiley face. And I ended on a good note with a smiley face, and I still say I think they're a good person, basically. And I just tell them all this good stuff because I do believe that about people. I feel we all have good in us, but that's my personal belief. Everyone has their own different perspectives. So that's what I actually believe. For we're not perfect, but I think we all have some type of good is somewhere, you know. But it just is what it is. So I always try to convey that, just to let them know, and they usually feel it if you're authentic. And so I put a smiley face there, and this option, and I put in parentheses again, this option if the host and or guest decide to file a Turo claim within 20 days. Sometimes it just happens, man. Sometimes, you know, the guest just does it, stops responding. After 72 hours, after 3 days, you just have to file a Turo claim. They're not responding. Hey, you did your part. Sometimes maybe they just don't trust you either. Maybe they're like, you know what? I'd rather just go through Turo. Turo is a much more known company than this host. I'd rather just use my Turo insurance that I paid for anyway. You can't control that. That's fine. Sometimes you might be in a situation where you're like, nah, you know what? This guest, I'm not really trusting them either. I just want to file through Turo. I trust Turo more than this guest. Or they're not really working with me the right way. Whatever the case, whatever reason why you have to file your claim within the 20 days, because you have to file it within 20 days for Turo to manage it after you file an independent claim. Whatever the case is, you send them the message through Turo messaging, and you send it through text messaging, and you look at them. I just want to say I think you're a great person. I still appreciate you, and thank you for your experience, my friend. So no matter what the case, you end on a good note. Because what you don't want to do, you don't want to leave a bad situation bad. You can always turn a bad situation good and a good situation bad. The goal here is to turn a bad situation good and keep a good situation good. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I left a lot of links below. I left the actual template for free. This whole template you can download yourself. You can print it to your computer, print it to your laptop, wherever you need. Print it, save it, use it, copy, paste it, whatever you guys need it. Totally yours. Absolutely my contribution back to you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting me. I'm a new YouTuber, just trying to do my best to give back and teach all my experience that I've learned from being a business consultant over eight years insurance as insurance agent, specializing in insurance mitigation, risk reduction. I'm also real estate licensed as well, and I'm an all-star power star host, five-star all-star and power host on Turo. Yeah, and I'm just trying to give back, people, and I'm not charging. It's absolutely free. I'm also going to leave an independent claims video below, and I'm going to leave another video that goes a bit more in detail of more. I did another video like this where it's text message psychology, so it's more into same type of strategy, but except it's more about how to actually handle your reservation once it gets booked from beginning to end, and creating a good experience from, hey, I'm such and such, I'm currently in the host, good to meet you, and to the end, thank you for booking my fleet. Please come back. I appreciate your service. You know, stuff like that, you know. So I left another link below in another video with another free template that goes deep psychology on how to become that 5-star host with your text messages and messages through Turo, and how to actually give yourself the best first impression, because you only have one chance to make your first impression. That's a bit different, but there's another template, deep psychology into how to become that 5-star host and give Turo experience at a stellar level. And this is the other video, so I'm gonna leave that below as well. Thank you so much. Share, subscribe, like, give it to anyone that needs help. I'm here to help. I love you guys.